Oh my God! That is the craziest snake I have ever seen in my life. Why is it black? Good evening, everybody, from very, very depressingly dry North Alabama. I have never seen anything quite like this. We've had so much rain at home that it's made it actually hard to herp, but only a couple hours away in North Alabama, what is normally a creek full of cottonmouths is completely dry right now. So I'm not really sure how the herping today is going to go. We're planning on spending the night up here and road cruising. And we were going to hang out in this creek while it's hot and look for cottonmouths, but there's not really a creek anymore. So I guess we're going to walk the bed and see if we can find some pools of water, and maybe there will be some snakes hanging out in the pools. But if not, we might just end up road cruising tonight and hoping that snakes will be crossing the road after dark. But we're going to see how this goes. It's definitely an interesting situation here, to say the least. So right here we have a little green frog. And while I was looking at the green frog, Caitlin spotted over there, I'm going to use the frog to point, tucked up under that ledge, as a cottonmouth. So I was kind of hoping that the little bit of water that might be here would have a little concentration of herps, and it seems like that is the case. So I'm gonna let this guy go, and we're gonna go see if we can get a look at this cottonmouth. Well, there he is. First snake of the day. Nice cottonmouth. Looks like he's gonna come out on his own, maybe. I would like to get a better look at him. Well, that guy went into the water, and as you can see, it's quite dark, so he disappeared pretty effectively. But we're going to try to find another one. Hopefully we'll be able to turn up a couple here. I don't have a snake hook, so it's going to be kind of tough to wrangle them if they're all that flighty, so we'll see. And Caitlin's out here killing it with the cottonmouth. She just spotted her second one. Really cool in situ, coiled up right there. I'm going to get a quick photo of him, and then we'll get a better look. Well, this guy's spooked. He's right here under the water, but you can barely see him. We'll come up here in a second. There he is. This is a really pretty little cottonmouth, if he can show himself, rather than trying to go into a hole that isn't there. All right, he's out in the open a little bit more, showing us a little attitude. But classic cottonmouth pose. Really pretty looking snake too. I'm assuming that guy is sitting there waiting for a frog to come by. He's rattling his tail a little bit. But really just a weird setting to see a cottonmouth in. Just giant. I mean, this isn't weird in southern Illinois, but here it's kind of odd in the southeast, where we typically see them in swamps. I think he might have gone under that rock. But yeah, southern Illinois is like the only other place where I associate cottonmouths with steep bluffs like this. But even still, this is not even really the same as southern Illinois. It's in its own category of weirdness. But 2 cottonmouths so far. We're gonna keep walking, see what else turns up. It seems like they are out in decent numbers, despite the fact that it's the middle of the day and 90 degrees. Now this is really cool. I came up here to explore this cave above where we found the cottonmouth. And under a rock, I found a nest of salamanders. You can even see the little salamanders in the egg. That is really cool. If I had to guess, I'd say there's probably dusky salamander, but I don't know for sure. It's not something I've actually seen before. I've seen different kinds of salamander nests, but I've never seen this particular kind. I think it's a dusky salamander, though. Really neat. I'm going to get a quick photo of it and then cover it back up, but that is super, super cool. You can see the little salamanders inside the eggs and their yolks and the little cavern that she deposited the eggs in. Really, really neat. Well, this is weird. There are 3 pickerel frogs in this crack. They all went back in that hole, but you can see that is definitely a pickerel frog. My phone doesn't want to focus on him, but there were 3 of them. Oh, you can see this one here still too. If I can. There he is. That's a little guy. Very weird to see a pickerel frog right now, and even weirder to see 3 of them in a crack. I was really hoping to see a green salamander up here, but even if I did find one, with it being so dry, I'm not sure I'd be comfortable pulling it out. Maybe we'll see a head sticking out or something. All right, well, there's yet another cottonmouth. Caitlin also spotted this one. I'm just amphibian boy today, I guess. And Caitlin's snake woman, but another nice in situ, just kind of chilling out right there in the middle of the creek. I'm gonna get another photo and then we'll get a better look. Hopefully this one stays put. Well, this has definitely been the most cooperative one so far. He's barely moved while I've taken pictures of him. He's just sitting in such a cool spot too. Right here up against this rock, kind of in the middle of the dry creek bed with like this awesome boulder and cliff face behind him. Really, really cool. Great place to find some vipers on a really hot late summer day. And it seems like they're out in good numbers. I could do this all day, so we're gonna keep walking until we hit the end of this creek and then probably head back towards the car. So I'm gonna try to leave this guy right here undisturbed and we're gonna keep moving. Cottonmouth number 3. So right past the last cottonmouth, I was just about to say this would be a great place to be a cottonmouth with these ferns right on the edge of this big pool. And sure enough, out in the middle there is number 4. So, did he just fall in the water?
He did.
There's another one over there. You can kind of see him. You can see his butt right there. Caitlin spotted him while I was looking at this guy. But he just like kind of fell off that cliff into the water. It was funny. Is it 5 and 6? Or is it 4 and 5?
4 and 5.
So that's cottonmouth number 4, and then cottonmouth number 5. So there's that one. And then Caitlin spotted yet another one. Oh my goodness, look at that thing. Just pancaked in the grass. I knew there were a lot of cottonmouths here because I've seen them here before, but this is kind of ridiculous. There's 3 inside of us right now, and then the 4th right over there. It's just ridiculous. This guy like kind of spooked and climbed up in the vegetation and into the water. Look at this. There's just like a cliff, and then a tiny little puddle. There's normally a waterfall here, but it's so dry that there's not right now. And then over here, just crawling around, yet another cottonmouth. How's it going, dude? That is so cool. What is this? Is this number 6 or is this 7? I can't remember.
7.
It's always good when you're losing track of how many snakes you found, because they're just everywhere. And into the pool. All right, well, I'm back in here, and on the wall right there is a little 2-line salamander. You don't see these guys in the summer as often as we see in the winter, but still quite common, especially in habitat like this, so just gonna leave him to it. But nice to see a salamander out and about, despite how dry it is. But it is nice and damp back in this cave, so maybe I'll be able to turn up something else. And sure enough, there's yet another 2-line salamander just kind of plastered to the wall. Right down the cave from the first one. He's got a regrown tail. So there's just like a sheer cliff here. Same area as the last cottonmouth. Tucked down in the reeds is, I think that is number 8. Really, really crazy how many of these are out. And crazy just how good the population is here. Look at that guy. Surprise! Another pickerel frog. And also a slimy salamander like way back in there. But these guys are just all over in the crevices. It's really cool. Yeah, so pickerel frogs are they're not necessarily uncommon. They're just hard to target. You always find them in the weirdest situations like this. That's probably like the 10th one I've seen in a crack here today. And we had 3 in that first crack we found them in too. But this one's actually in a spot that he can't like back up and get away from. So it's a good spot for video. But I'm just gonna leave him right there. Hey, snake that's not a cottonmouth. Just flipped a nice big ringneck under this rock. And you can see how dry it is here, as if the dry creek isn't evidence enough. But there's no moisture under this rock whatsoever. I'll let him just slip back under his rock. All right, everyone. Well, that hike was fantastically awesome. 8 cottonmouths and only, it was probably around an hour or so, but like the entire stretch that we walked was no more than a quarter of a mile. And there were just so many snakes right there. It was really awesome. Along with a decent amount of other amphibian diversity and that little ringneck. But but right now we're heading out to do some evening road cruising and then some night cruising. But it is really dry out here. I'm not super optimistic that we'll do well tonight, but we're gonna hit it hard nevertheless, and hopefully we'll see some snakes. So we're gonna get to it, and I will let you guys know when we cruise something. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is the craziest snake I have ever seen in my life. Why is it black? Why is it black? That might be the single most insane snake I have ever found in my life. I mean, that is, the timber rattlesnakes here are not black. We are not in the mountains. That is a black canebrake. Like, look at its face. I have never seen anything like that in my life. Like, holy crap. I thought it was a rat. Like, I don't even have words for this right now. This is the craziest snake I have ever seen. Just mother of God. Like, that is, I don't even have words. I am struggling to find words to describe this animal. I'm just absolutely speechless. I'm shaking. I'm confused. I don't understand. I'm at a complete loss of words. I'm just gonna let you guys look at this snake for a minute. Look at this habitat. Look at this snake. I was happy with today with the cottonmouths and everything, but like that, I have just never, ever expected something less than to find a solid black canebrake. Like we're in North Alabama, but the rattlesnakes here typically look like the canebrakes you would see in the coastal plain, rather than the timber rattlesnakes we see in the Georgia Blue Ridge, where it's pretty common to see a largely dark timber, but you just don't see that. That is just obscene. And you can see the undertones of like the canebrake pattern underneath the darkness. It's just wild. It's just insane. That is just... Y'all know I'm a king snake guy, but that right there is my favorite snake I've ever seen in the wild. And it's not even close. I found my first mosaic king snake this year, and it was one of my favorite things I've ever seen in the wild. But this is somehow even better. Like, the black on that snake's head, the reflectiveness, the sheen, it's just, I've never seen anything like that. It's so incredible. It's like a Serb, but it's a timber. I am ecstatic right now, and I'm paranoid that some redneck's going to come along and try to kill it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this snake into the woods, because there's nothing else to do. I've taken some pictures. I got something I'm happy with. I don't want to bother that creature any longer than I already have to. That is just so obscenely amazing. I'm left completely speechless by this. This is bar none one of my favorite moments in my entire life. That is so incredible. And it's starting to get dark on us, so we're actually losing light pretty fast, and this snake's got places to be, and so do we. So we're going to keep cruising, I guess. It's all downhill from there, but we're going to try. That is so absolutely unbelievable. A melanistic timber rattlesnake here in North Alabama. Not a black phase, a melanistic timber. All right, we are going to let this beauty just continue. Holy crap. All right. Retreats angrily. I am actually over the moon right now. We're going to keep cruising. Well, it's not a snake, but our next find of the night is some stick bugs doing the nasty. I think these are three-striped walking sticks, I think is the name, but the road is no place for that, so we're going to move them out and keep hoping for our first snake after dark. It's just about completely dark now, and I'm expecting that we'll probably see something else here soon, hopefully. But the night cruising has been very slow lately, so we'll see, I guess. Alright guys, well it is currently 10 o'clock Georgia time, which is 9 o'clock Alabama time, but it's been It's been about an hour and a half since sunset, and we have not seen a single snake on the road since that incredible timber. It just seems pretty dead out here after dark. I'm assuming it has to do with the drought, and it is still incredibly warm. It's 80 degrees. I would think there would at least be some copperheads and rattlesnakes moving, but apparently not. We're probably going to stick at it for a little bit longer, though, and see if we can turn something up. But it's kind of looking like it's going to be a bust after dark, which, I mean, obviously I'm not upset about that at all, considering what we found before dark, but still just weird. It's been a very weird trip overall. Finally, a snake. And what else would it be other than a gigantic brown snake? That is a unit, really big. On the prowl for food, I assume. Kind of different looking than the ones we get back home, at least, but nevertheless, one of the more common snakes to see while road cruising. Not really something we've seen much of lately, though. They've been surprisingly absent on the roads over the last couple weeks. All right, dude, let's get you out of the road. Get yourself out of the road, that works too. All right, we're gonna keep cruising. Probably do one more pass before we call it a night, so hopefully stuff will pick up here soon. Good evening, everybody. We ended up not seeing anything else last night after the brown snake, but it's kind of hard to complain because the timber that we found before it even got dark was one of the coolest snakes I think we've ever seen on this channel. But we're currently on our way home. Today is going to end up being kind of a bust, I think, because it's raining. Apparently, Caitlin found something over here. Oh, a salamander. Nice. Just kind of chilling out right there. But we're on our way home. Stopped at this little roadside waterfall because it looked really cool. If we don't see anything crazy out here, I'll probably end up wrapping this video up. But there's a little desmog. There's actually another desmog right there. So I walked over here to the waterfall to look around a little bit and brought my flashlight. There's that guy. There's another seal salamander. And then a pickerel frog. We were seeing these guys everywhere yesterday. But this one's in a really good spot for video, so I figured I'd show them to you guys real quick. But anyways, a couple of little seal salamanders over there. I'm assuming that's what those are. The second one's definitely a seal. And I think the little guy that was right there probably was too. But this trip started out really slow. I think that would have been mostly in the last video. This episode's probably going to be pretty poppin'. But yeah, I was really frustrated until yesterday because the first couple of days that we were on this trip, we didn't really see much at all. Just a bunch of common stuff, which is always fine. But we really ended the trip with a bang with all those cottonmouths and that really awesome timber yesterday. So I'm really happy with how it went overall. August can be a pretty tough month, and we're going to be wrapping it up here soon. I think today is the 30th, so tomorrow is the last day of the month. And we'll be moving into September, which is one of the best months of the year in the Southeast. So really looking forward to what the next month or so has in store. But yeah, just a fantastic trip over here in Alabama. The Tennessee section was kind of rough, but Alabama did us very right. That black timber is just one of the craziest things I have ever seen. Timbers like that are fairly common up in the Northeast, where you get the black phase that's actually, you know, a normal thing. But from what I understand, that snake that we found is just a melanistic canebrake, which is probably incredibly rare. I've never seen anything like it. If you've seen a black rattlesnake in Alabama, feel free to let me know. But I've never seen anything like that from outside of the Northeast. Really, really an incredible find, and probably one of the highlights of the season for me. So on that note, I think I'm going to wrap this episode up here, unless we see something else on the way home. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.